Good morning, everyone. It is Angie Coley, and today I wanted to talk about modeling on success. Now, a while back, I talked about how nobody needs a triangle wheel. And just wanted to repeat that because I feel like so many people come to business, come to entrepreneurship thinking that unless they come up with some completely new, totally unheard of before thing, that they are not going to be successful. And I've got I'm going to go all Mythbusters on your ass real quick. 2 quick points to refute that. One, it's really hard to bring something completely, totally new to the market because people don't understand what it is. They don't know how to use it. They don't immediately get how useful it is. And so it requires typically a lot of money to bring something completely brand new out into the world, get enough traction, get enough interest, make enough sales to actually turn something into a business. So if you're following that approach, you're already in for an uphill battle. The second thing is, I bet you've got probably half a dozen objects sitting around in your house, in your car, that you love it like 90%, 80%. It's such a great tool. It's such a great item. It's one of your favorite things, except for one thing that you wish it had. People have created entire businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, from noticing that little gap, that one little thing that's missing, and creating their own thing that does it slightly better. That's a perfectly viable business. Plus, there are hundreds of thousands of us that are in consulting, in freelancing, where it's about your personality fit and your ability to deliver on a service versus coming up with a gap on a physical widget that could be improved. So there are a bunch of ways to approach business, none of which involve you having to come up with something completely new, never before seen, otherwise you're a failure. There's nothing new under the sun, folks. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, even coming up with something like an iPhone where it's everything in your pocket. We had calculators, we had phones, we had cameras. The only thing that was new about it is they figured out how to put it in one device that you could carry around with you all the time. And an entire industry was born with smartphones and tablets. So there's your reframe for that. And then the other thing that I wanted to offer today was, modeling on success means actively swinging the pendulum from I can't do this, I don't know how to do this, to finding people who have done it and figuring out what they've done. So your exercise today, your challenge for today, should you choose to accept it, is if you've been thinking about starting a business, or if you're in a business and you're trying to grow it and you can't kind of figure out where you're stuck, look for examples of 3 to 5 people, 3 to 5 companies that are doing pretty much what you want to do or very close to it. And look to see what they're doing. Don't just blindly follow them, right? Because you're still looking from the outside in and you don't have sales numbers and you don't have insider knowledge into how the company is going. All you have is the surface appearance when you're doing this approach. But if you see someone that's out there repeatedly doing the same thing over the course of many years, odds are that they're either in a horrendous amount of debt and really, really good at putting on a happy face because they're not good at sales, but they keep showing up, or they're actually doing really well at sales because they keep showing up. They keep putting themselves out there, and that's probably someone that you could learn from. So in my former life, when I was a corporate copywriter, and I didn't even have any concept, looking around me at people who were freelance writers, that was a completely different reality to the one that I was living with. I didn't even have any concept of how those people over there could do it. So when I started learning more about freelance writing, the first thing I did was I went to those people who were living that life I wanted to live. I asked them about it. What do you do? How do you do that? I don't even know where to start. Where do you find your clients? What kind of projects do you work on? One of my good friends was somebody that was a digital nomad and was traveling the world. And I was very interested in learning how to do that. Like, in my mind, I had made it up to be something that was way more complicated than buy a ticket, find an Airbnb, and show up in another country. But it pretty much boiled down to that. She helped me go to Colombia a couple years ago, and we spent a month working in Colombia remote. It's on Eastern time, just in case you're curious. So I feel you from the depths of my soul if starting a business or growing a business or taking the next step is pushing you out of your comfort zone and you're terrified to take the next step. But the reality is there's plenty of evidence out there if you go looking for it. There's always going to be a reason not to do something. There will always, always be a reason not to do something. The timing doesn't work out, the money situation sucks, you have an unexpected setback in your life. There's always going to be a reason not to do something. So when is it going to be time to do it? That's a choice that you have to make. And then go look for the evidence that supports that you're making the right decision. And start building those relationships with people that are doing what you want to do. Because when you stumble, when things get rough, when you can't see a way forward, those are going to be the people to turn around, grab you by the hand, and pull you forward again. So I'm Angie Coley. That's what I've got for you today. Let's go kick some ass.